Welcome back. My name is Richelski and I'm a bit obsessed with Salmon Run. So I thought I would try something different today with this video. I've uploaded 2 videos already, which I talk about what to do in freelance and what not to do in freelance. And yeah, they're good tips, good advice, and I'd recommend watching them. But I also think it's important to see how people play as well. So it's all well and good me saying do this and don't do that, but a lot of these things are situational. So I thought I'd try a video where I've recorded freelance games, that's difficult to say, and just go through with you guys what I'm doing at any given moment and comment on why I do these things and what happens and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy it. I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Richelski, so come and say hello. So at the beginning of every wave, it's super important to turf, and I have the carbon, and the best thing about the carbon is its mobility. It's the second best thing about the carbon is its potential for chip damage. So you'll see when I'm playing the carbon that I'm quite aggressive with the way that I play, but not aggressive to the point where I try to take on hordes of chum that I can't deal with by myself. So here we go neutralize the fly fish, and then I bring them all back to basket with me, right? Thankfully, my teammate with me is also helping me deal with the hordes of chum and cohocks and stuff like that. So I wasn't overwhelmed. Also, totally fine to kill a drizzler as soon as you see them. I wouldn't deal with them too much. So you can see I've seen a big shot and a steelhead, and we kill the steelhead straight away because killing a steelhead straight away creates an enormous amount of turf for you. And it has such a large sort of area of explosion AoE that it's beneficial to kill them and not lure them too much, because if you've got them by basket, they become quite dangerous. And you can see there's another one here, and I go to it, but then I also notice a stinger. I have a moment of sort of hesitation where I think, what should I do? Go for the stinger or the steelhead? And my teammates go for the steelhead while I deal with the stinger. Carbons are decent at killing stingers. They're not amazing, but they're decent because it's a fast weapon. So I pick up 2 eggs, I come back to basket. Quota's been met at this point, so I'm just chilling, basically. I'm turfing, I'm staying alive, and I'm just throwing in a last egg. There's not much to say here, but also after every wave, you'll see that I will turf a lot, and I will continue to kill bosses even though the round is over, because turfing is so important. Anytime you've got a moment to turf, you should. So wave 2, I start with the Explo, completely different weapon. To the carbon. With this weapon, you want to be more patient and hang back, and of course, right on cue, we get a fly fish. So Explo is amazing at killing fly fish, just like that. So I take that down, and we also see a big shot. But instead of doing what I did with the carbon, which was run down there and put a lot of damage on it, I hang back and support my teammates who are killing. Explo is an amazing weapon, but it does very little damage to hordes of chum and cohocks, etc. So the potential to get overwhelmed is there, and it happens more often than not. So Explo is a weapon you have to play extremely patient and almost backline with, right? So we can see another big shot, but I also see drizzler bullets and fly fish. My teammates here are doing a really good job of killing a lot of things, so that leaves me the potential to concentrate on fly fish killing and running eggs. I notice at this point as well that quota isn't great. We've had a lot of static spawns, we've had a lot of fly fish stingers and big shots. And one of the most important things about freelance is being adaptable. My teammates are killing really efficiently. So apart from taking out fly fish when I can, I stay around basket and run eggs because they're using the big shot cannon to get eggs to basket, but I'm the only one running them, as you can see. So it's another important thing is when you've played with a team 1 or 2 waves, you get an idea of how they perform, right? So you do the things that they're not doing. You see my teammate comes to basket and says this way because they probably just realized we weren't comfortably over quota for a while. So I noticed, my teammates were killing really well. So I went and focused on quota. Like having the most boss kills and having the most golden eggs, it's not necessarily the most important thing. The most important thing is adapting to your surroundings. So wave 3, I have the aero spray. Again, this weapon is quite similar to the carbon, except it's much more brain dead. So you just point and shoot, right? But the important thing to know, much like carbon, is that your weapon doesn't have a lot of DPS. It doesn't have a lot of killing power, and the RNG on it is kind of crap. So you need to be careful with what you do. So I run down here, but also my carbon runs down here. Together we can take on a lot together. Importantly, I noticed there that the ill is not on me. The ill goes for my teammates, so I go around the ill. Really super important to notice what aggro, what bosses are on you, because if that ill was on me, I wouldn't have been able to get to the big shot cannon. So big shot is dead. I realise there's a couple of bosses here. They're going to swarm me, so I come back to basket and concentrate on basket. Don't camp the big shot. There's no enemies there. You want enemies to come towards you, right? So my teammates have gone back down there and they're chucking eggs, which is fine because I can run eggs up here. I'm an aerospray, I'm super fast, I'm super mobile, and I'm always turfing as well. You know, like I said in wave 2, I noticed my teammates they had a really good handle on boss kills. So I'm here turfing and assisting what they're doing. Together in this comp is really important as well because all 4 of these weapons don't have a lot of DPS in of themselves, right? So you don't have a weapon like the Dapples or the Dynamo that can just shred everything. You've got 4 weapons that are all, you know, really good and unique in their own ways, but they work best together when you're supporting each other for killing. So I use my special to get rid of the big shot, but what's more important here is staying alive and maintaining quota. We get quota, I back off, I revive my teammate and just make sure we're all okay to pass the wave. So yeah, that's the first game I did. That was the first game of the rotation I did as well. So completely freelance, don't know these players at all, but it was a really solid game, and I think there was some important things there, which is why I shared this clip. And I play in 2 different ways as well. I play really sort of slow and patient with the Explo, and then with the carbon and the aerospray. With the aerospray, right? You might as well call it the splay because that's what it does. With the aerospray, I play a lot more aggressively. So, on to the next one. So for this next clip, it's a different rotation. It was a little while ago, and it's Sockeye Station with Junior, Charger, the basic Charger, the Splatoon Wiper, and the mini Splatling. And I was a bit apprehensive about using this footage originally because I feel very, terrible. I feel very bad with the mini Splatling. I actually find it quite a difficult weapon to use because I think its ink efficiency is kind of garbage, and I think whatever role it has, other weapons are better. Like if I want a weapon like the mini, I would rather the Splash or the 52, right? So I wasn't going to use this footage, but I actually think it's a really important footage to use because it's quite funny what happens. So immediately I start with a junior and I'm doing what any good junior does, and I'm turfing the hell out of everything I see. My special is Ink Strike, and I hate that. I think it's a weak special, but you know, you make do. I'll use them quite well towards the end of the game. So Sockeye Station is great because you have a really good vantage point. So we're able to lure the scrapper straight away. This is a slightly higher hazard quota as well. So it will be slightly more difficult than the previous game. So I spend the first 20-30 seconds just sort of turfing, running around seeing what's spawning, and then I notice a big shot is spawning. So I go over there. Most importantly is to try and kill everything around the big shot first, because if you don't, they will kill you. And then I notice, oh, there's 3 of us by the big shot cannon. Why are we all here? I'm going to back off, because if you all die there, that's game over. So I go and neutralize a fish stick, and then I decide to run some eggs because we don't have that many eggs. Always turfing, almost die here as well, which is dumb. I should have backed off a bit, but we've effectively brought a few things back to basket, which is good here. So I'm able to run eggs, turf, kill Moors, kill bosses, and ignore that stinger. It's only 1 stinger, which isn't a problem. But then I notice something in the distance. I notice another stinger. And 2 stingers crisscrossing across the map is not good. So I get rid of 1. But here I make a mistake, right? I notice the quota is low, and I'm thinking, oh, a big shot is here. I should take care of the big shot. But I die in the process. And then shortly after I die, one of my other teammates dies as well. And here is the potential for your wave 1, 5 seconds on the clock wipe. Thankfully it doesn't happen because 2 teammates stay alive, but you can see right here, they go down straight after the wave ends, which means there was a potential for us to wipe. So don't make the same mistake I did. If I was playing this exact game again, I would have ignored that big shot and gone back to basket, which is what I would recommend, because we had enough eggs by basket, and one big shot with one stinger, you can dodge those effectively. So here I am with the worst weapon in Salmon Run. I'm joking, I'm just terrible with it. And you can see I'm always looking around as well. Like, one of the good things about Sockeye is you can see the whole map. And so while we're dealing with the bosses on the right, I keep an eye on what's spawning on the left. And I see a fish stick, so I go and deal with that and pick up a couple of eggs in the process. But I'm always keeping an eye on what's spawning around, which I think is really important. If you want any hope in hell to lure in Freelance, then you need to be ahead of what your randos are seeing. So if you see a Moors but your teammates are somewhere else, you can lure that, but that doesn't always happen. So I take the top of Sockeye, and I'm comfortable up there because there's a lot underneath me. Getting the steelhead kill there, very important, because it also kills the steel eel. And then I'm up here just killing bosses. I have a moment where I think about what I want to do there. Do I want to run eggs or kill this stinger? And I decide to go kill the stinger. My teammate comes down with me in the end, so potentially I wouldn't have had to go do that. But it's quicker sometimes to just do things yourself. Now I'm hard focusing on quota and basket. There's a nice wave breaker there because it puts a lot of residual damages on the bosses and the cohocks and stuff like that. So that was a very helpful special. So yeah, now we have quota. It's just about staying alive and killing the bosses, which we do quite efficiently. You know, there's no real risk here. We're not completely overrun. Normally, my main mantra is quota and survive. But here, it's not too dangerous. So I hang around and put in a few more eggs. We get a nice 43. Always turfing. So wave 3 is where this gets fun. We have a fog round. And I love fog rounds because they're probably one of the most difficult rounds in the game, because they seem to have buffed the fog. Like, it's actually harder to see the paint now. And I find a lot of freelancers don't know what to do. They just sort of like panic. So I kind of like the challenge of Freelance. I'm the charger here, so I'm playing a lot more patiently. I'm not running down and, charging into things. I'm trying to one-shot and snipe things and also run eggs. So I know it's a big shot down there, but I don't do anything about it because I think this Drizzer kill is more important, and I think my teammates take care of the first big shot anyway. It's important when you're dealing with big shots that you also have a handle on what's going on the basket, right? I don't know. Also, I don't know why I'm shooting the fish stick as the charger. Right? I don't know why I'm doing that. Our quota is abysmal right now, and I'm standing there shooting at fish sticks. So I decide, actually, I'll use my special. The triple ink strike is really good at getting rid of fish sticks. So both of those fish sticks are down. And those fish stick placements are really important to kill ASAP, especially for a weapon like me, for a charger, because they're just going to debilitate my movement. So I notice the quota's not looking good, so I go to basket, kill a goldie. Thankfully it had 5. And dance around rain and big shot and try to stay alive whilst also running eggs. So I'm hard focusing quota here and keeping an eye on the basket, and just ignoring the big shot, because one big shot I think is fine to ignore when you're at this point in the game when you need quota. So we've got good use of specials here. But then something unfortunate happens. We all wipe because we got greedy. Now I'm joking, the rando came in clutch and saved us, but seriously, be careful. Ideally, if you want to survive and win a lot of games, then just play comfortably. Don't do that. I'm very, very grateful the rando hung back and survived, because I would have been so gutted. I would have probably posted this video anyway and been like, guys, look what happens. You will die in 4 seconds with wave 3, right? Don't do that. But yeah, I think it's also important to, play safe and not all die right at the basket because you're egg greedy. All right, last clip. So the last freelance game is the same comp rotation as the first one, the one with the Explo. And I wasn't going to pick 3 from the same rotation, 2 from the same rotation rather, but I also thought it's because I used Jet Squelcher in this and I have a different special, I thought it'd be useful. So yeah, I've got Jet Squelcher. Jet Squelcher got a buff for Salmon Run. in Splatoon 3. In Splatoon 2 it was hot garbage. It was just so weak it couldn't effectively kill anything, really. You really struggled with it. Its only sort of niche good thing was its range. But in Splatoon 3 they've buffed the damage that it does to enemies, and it's made a world of difference now. So yeah, the beginning of Wave 1 starts much like the first couple of games, where I turf up and get some easy, quick kills, getting rid of Drizzlers as fast as possible, trying to neutralise Flyfish. Like here, I get rid of 2 Drizzlers very quickly because they just cause problems, Drizzlers. Especially when you've got missiles and big shots and everything like that. I'm always a big proponent of killing bosses early if you feel like your main problem is you get overwhelmed and you can't secure basket, then kill things earlier, right? So another Drizzler down, a Slamming Lid down, and I think, maybe I should run some eggs. But to be honest, Quota's looking pretty good here. You know, we've got a pretty good handle on things. The randos that I'm with are running eggs. We're killing effectively. So I'm taking a much more supportive role in this wave. I'm keeping basket clean, I'm turfing, I'm running eggs, and I'm putting additional damage on things. Like I said in the first game, this comp relies on you having to all work together as a team to kill hordes of bosses and enemies. No one weapon here is like more overpowered than the others, so when you all work together like this, you can kill all the lessers pretty quickly. So yeah, easy Wave 1, easy 39 eggs, and I just carry on turfing while we wait for Wave 2. Sockeye, this isn't Sockeye. Fission is a really good map for slow backline weapons as well, because you've got so many vantage points, and it's really worth using that if you've got Explo or Jet Squelcher. So here I've got Carbon again. I wasn't going to stop the scrapper there, I was going to turn it around, but the rando got to it first. This is what I say about don't bother in luring. Your randos will kill everything on sight, right? Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just, you know. So we're all patiently waiting for the second and the third bosses to spawn. A Moors goes off down there, I don't bother with it. I bother with keeping an eye on what's coming. So I see an eel, but I think the Drizzler is more important right now. I don't get the one cycle on the Drizzler, unfortunately, but my teammate kills the eel. So I think, okay, there's no panic for me because that eel was aggroed to me. Nothing much interesting going on other than just keeping an eye on what's spawning around basket. We get quite nice RNG here where things are coming towards us. We don't have a bunch of big shots and stingers and flyfish causing havoc. Everything is like coming to us. Again, one of the most important things as a Carbon is assisting your teammates who are slower, heavier weapons. So getting rid of fish sticks is like super important. My teammate here notices that I'm killing the Drizzler, so they kill the torpedo that the Drizzler puts out. Super handy. Always useful to get rid of the torpedoes, even if you don't kill the Drizzler. So I go back to basket again, and yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm vibing. I'm running eggs because that wasn't necessarily a tough wave. We had a handle on everything at all times. Nobody died, and yeah, easy 41 as well. I don't know if you notice this when you're watching it, but how yellow this looks, right? See how I mean, it doesn't matter because it's low tide, which is kind of annoying, but how well everything is painted. And again, I'm an aerospray, so immediately the first thing I do is turf basket. We get crap first spawns here. I was going to go Reef Slider, but I noticed my teammate used their Inkjet, which is why I booty at them. We love it when we see specials like that. There's no point just like waiting around and trying to kill things and getting swarmed. Just get rid of bosses quickly, and then more bosses spawn. Right, so here I use the Reef Slider. Reef Slider is kind of like an extremely niche special, but it's good for weapons that don't have a lot of DPS, like the Aerospray. So I was able to kill the 2 big shots really quickly with the use of the Reef Slider. Notice the big shot cannon is getting a bit hairy, so I back off. Go run some eggs. Keep an eye on basket. Get rid of the fish sticks so that my Jet Squelcher and my Explo can move a bit better. my teammates are using their specials really well as well, which is super helpful. And like you notice, like the thing that I'm doing the most is always turfing, especially when I've got a weapon like aero spray. I see a stinger there and I go for it, but then I notice my teammate has gone for it, so I go back to basket. We don't need two of us there, right? And we need quota, so I go straight back to basket and help with egg running and turfing for my teammates. You notice we've got 10 seconds left and we still need a few more eggs. So running together with my teammate to go get that stinger wouldn't have been a good idea. So yeah, easy. Get 30 eggs. And I noticed from the change of the music that we get a Kohazuna spawn. So that's why I'm running around turfing like crazy. Super important to do that as well if you've got a weapon that turfs well, like the aero spray. And just spend those 5 seconds just running around and burning specials to generate more turf. So I've kept this in as well because this is actually a really good Kohazuna fight. And I'm the Explo, which I think a lot of people might potentially struggle with for the Kohazuna. And in terms of like thinking what your role is. So my role is to hang back and be patient. I also use the egg to kill the eel. Because, I love the Explo, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's quicker for me to one-shot it with the egg. So we've got a couple of scrappers around us. So, as you can see as well, we've got good spawns here, but I'm always keeping an eye on what is spawning from the shore. I don't know if you notice the very slight camera tweaks. I'm always like, what is spawn? I'm waiting for a big shot. I'm waiting for a fly fish or something because I've got the weapon to deal with it. And then, in the corner, I notice a stinger. So I run down there and use my special and also get the stillhead in the process. But then I notice one of my teammates has died, so I immediately run back with one egg. There's no point staying there just because there's like 5 or 6 eggs there. The Kohazuna hasn't got much health left at this point, so just throwing DPS, throwing ink on it helps. I do go for the stillhead kill, but then we kill it with 20 seconds left. 27 seconds left, mind. So yeah, really effective. I mean, we were kind of helped with like the good RNG of the bosses there. Everything came to basket and we didn't have no big shots or fly fish. It was all scrappers and maws and flipper floppers. So, and they only gave us 12 bronze for it because we didn't work hard enough. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It's kind of like an interesting, different take on like what I'm doing in a freelance game, and I hope I covered some things that I hope is helpful. It's mostly me just talking at a microphone and explaining what I'm doing at any given moment. So I hope that's been good. Let me know. I stream on twitch.tv/Richelski, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.